All right, what is this? What is this? Oh, okay, this is like some sort of like padding for the floor to keep your pedals from falling or slipping, which is actually very important, especially for wood floors like I have. So, great idea. We have our USB cord, that's the usual. We got some screws and things. Hopefully I don't have to screw too much. I don't really want to be assembling a whole rudder pedal, or do I have to? Maybe we do. All right, what is this? Some more thing. It looks like there might be some assembly involved because they're giving us a lot of pieces. So we'll have to see what that is. And another piece, yep. I'm probably have to put some things together. Hopefully it has instructions. Okay, wow. Okay, cool. So here is one of the pedals. And this pedal actually really reminds me of the Thrustmaster TPR pedals, if you're familiar with those. Those are very popular pedals from Thrustmaster. But the shape of them, and actually this is metal. These are definitely metal, pretty heavy, which actually you kind of need that for rudder pedals, so that's good. Gone are the days of plastic rudder pedals. Yes. Okay, so basically, the way it comes in the box is it gives you the base of it, and you basically have to assemble the rest. So the rudder pedals go on here somehow. That's what I'm gonna have to figure out next. So I'll check back in when I do. And here they are. I put it all together, and I will say that the WINWING instructions that came with the pedals were horrible. I mean, darn near unreadable. So I had to go and ask around, and I watched a video that was super helpful. So I did get it set up. It was a headache, but I got it set up. So I just want to warn you that there is some assembly involved, but there's a great video that you can watch. I'll put that in the description if needed. So I have it here mounted to my Next Level Racing foot plate, as you can see here, the Next Level Racing Boeing chair. And so I have it mounted on here, so I'm not using the legs that come with it. They have their own legs. It also has, the padded floor padding to keep it from slipping and all that. So if you don't have like a whole setup like this, then you can just do that. But for me, I've made it work. One thing, these screws here, if I can get a good angle of it, there's some screws. That's kind of hard to see. But anyway, there's a screw here to screw it down to the foot plate. That was not included for some reason in the packaging, so I had to go out to the store and buy my own, I think it's M6, I think it was 30 millimeter or 25 millimeter, something like that, screws to actually get it to mount to my Next Level Racing chair. If you have that chair, that is for you. But anyways, it's all mounted, and it's WINWING, right? It's functional, not beautiful. It looks very mechanical. You see all the gears and everything showing out, but that's all good. Like I said, we have the dampening kit here up top. It's going to be very helpful. We also have that spring there. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit down, honestly, and just give it a try and see what they feel like. That's what it's all about, right? It's not important what they look like per se, more about what they feel like. I will say, though, I do like how little space it takes. Like it's not massive like these guys here. You know what I mean? They're not massive, so I think it's gonna be good. It has a nice small signature as far as how much space it takes in your setup. So a couple things you can do with the WINWING rudder pedals here are, there's this spring here that does come off very easily actually with this little ring, and then we have the dampening kit here, which is actually a separate purchase, additional purchase, but allows you to very easily turn this to tighten or loosen the pedals and basically the stiffness of the pedal. So if you like a stiffer pedal, you can actually raise that up if needed. We're gonna test that right now actually. So these pedals do use a Hall sensor, but let's see how they feel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push to the left, push to the right, and this motion here is fairly smooth. I mean, it is smooth. It is smooth. There is a return to center. If I just let go, you see that? So if I just kind of push it, it automatically returns to center. It kind of bounces a little bit on its way back. Obviously with your feet on there, you're not gonna allow it to bounce like that. So for me, in my opinion, with rudder pedals, it always really matters how it feels in the center right before it returns to center. how like notchy or, you know, kind of grainy it feels. And there's no grain at all. It doesn't feel grainy in any way. You do feel the kind of the transition between center and, you know, pushing forward and back, which, you know, it could be good. Depends on your preference and what you fly and all that, but they are smooth. As you can notice as well, as you push them forward, they actually kind of slide just slightly to, you know, innerwards because of the way that they made it work. Now, I don't have this perfectly mounted to this foot plate yet, so it's a little moving around, but it feels decent. With the toe brakes as well, you can use. So independent toe brakes on both left and right, as all rudder pedals really have, and that feels really good. Very, very smooth as well. Actually, a decent amount of rotation. I would say around 45 degrees. I mean, you can see that on your camera there, around like 45 degrees of rotation. So a lot of room to play with on those rudder pedals. There's no like, you don't really feel much tension. There is a spring. This is spring loaded here, but you don't feel like tighter tension as you get closer to the end. It's just kind of like the same motion all the way through. So, and the same thing goes with this. I will say, as you kind of get to the end of pushing the rudder pedal all the way to the end, you do start to feel that spring pulling you back, but it's not a whole lot. It's not super obvious. But this is what kind of like the default settings. I'm gonna reach up here, and I'm gonna rotate this. Let's see. I'm gonna go as light as possible, which I think is gonna be fully to the left here on the dampener, and we'll see what that feels like. So, fairly light, very easy to move. Little to no effort. I can use the tip of my toes to move, which is honestly personally how I normally fly. I usually just use the tip of my toes so I can make very fine adjustments, and I feel that I could do that same thing with these pedals, so no issues there. They do feel good. They feel really good. And I'm not sure which one I prefer, if I prefer lighter rudder pedals or tighter. I have not really customized mine, but these pedals allow you to kind of customize that, which is nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and try tighten it up. We're gonna go as tight as possible. We'll just go all out, right? All or nothing, go hard or go home. And you can actually turn this quite a lot. All right, I think that is as far as we can go right there. So let's see what this feels like. All right, oh wow. Oh my, I'm literally pushing myself back in my seat just to get it to moving. Oh my God, why would you want pedals this tight? I mean, if you want that, you can have that. So man, wow. I'm really pushing. I know it's not gonna translate to the video, but I'm really putting like I feel like this could be a workout right here. Yeah, I'm pushing just to get it over. And I will say though, with the dampener tightened to the tightest setting, pushing on the left foot is much easier than pushing on the right, which seems off to me. It should be both. The dampener should be dampening both your left leg and your right leg, but to me it feels like it's only dampening the push on my right. So I'm using a lot of force on my right leg and little to none on my left. So like if I let go, you'll see it slowly return to center because that dampener is dampening it. If I try to push with my right foot here, I can kind of push right here, like right here in the middle range is not too bad, but once I want to go really far, that's where I start to feel that dampener. So it's not so much right here. This feels very similar to what we're used to even with a lighter setting, but it's mainly when you get to those longer ranges of motion there is where you start to feel that dampener and how tight that is. So that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like how it's only the right side that I feel it dampening. Like I feel like do I need two dampeners to dampen both sides? I don't know. Let's go ahead and loosen it maybe somewhere a few back. Maybe I can find a preference that I might like a bit better. I do kind of like a looser. All right, it's still very tight on the right. We'll just twist it a bit on the left. I do like how easy this is to change. I don't have to go and you know, get up or move. All right, so I think this is kind of back to how we were. So I think honestly for me, I'm probably gonna keep my pedals fairly loose. But I do recommend you get the dampener with it so that you can fine tune it the way you want it. All right, so that's the dampener. Let's try without the spring. All right, spring is off. Let's see how this works. Okay, now with the spring removed, oh wow, what a difference. This is a completely new set of pedals now, guys. Completely new set of pedals. Wow. Okay, now check this out. When I let go, yeah, so that spring is the reason why it returns to center. So if you want to fly like helicopters, for example, where you may want to, you know, be able to allow, you know, if you're a helicopter guy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you want to allow your pedal to stay in the same position, where if you leave it, boom, there it is. Like, okay, I know before I was like, I'm not really sure how much I like these, but now without it, and honestly, like, shoot, I mean, even for me, I'm just thinking about this. Even for me, even flying regular, you know, civil aviation aircraft or jets or airlines or whatever, like I still kind of prefer this. I personally prefer not to feel that return to center in my pedals. Now, yes, I know real life pedals they do, but like I like to have that fine adjustment, and I can really play with it here. Like it's up to me to get it back to center, and I kind of know where center is. This is where center is, or near it. I need to adjust, I can adjust, but as soon as you let go, it stays right there, and it is butter smooth like this. The other one just kind of felt, with the spring, it felt kind of like, I don't know, I just didn't like the way it returned to center. I was not a fan of that, but wow. All right, now let's turn the dampener up, so let's make it tighter, right? So we're gonna make it tighter. So now this, okay, yeah, so I'm still having the same problem though, where that dampener, and the dampener is also going to cause it to return to center too, because that's kind of what it does. So yeah, for me, I like these pedals most without the spring and at a lower dampening setting. Now I think it still may be worth it to get the dampener so that you can customize it to your preference. Obviously, like actual helicopter pedals, you're gonna have it very loose. So for helicopter, like this is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good for helicopters. So yeah, wow. I was not really sure what to expect, but I really like this. I gotta say, if you are a helicopter person specifically, these pedals should definitely be on your radar, depending on what your price point is and all that. I think this is a really good option. And honestly, if you're not into helicopters, this is still a really good option for rudder pedals at the price point that they're asking for. So yeah, I like it. I'm a fan now. Without the spring, I'm a fan for my personal preference. And besides the initial assembly, it's plug and play, no extra software required for you to download, no drivers, none of that. So one thing that's unexpected and surprising about these rudder pedals from WINWING is that there's a function called tank mode. Check this out. So you turn the little metal dial and it locks your pedals. You can no longer push them. You see, I can't, it's impossible for me to turn them. They're locked in place. And so all I can do is press the toe brakes. But in an actual tank, this is how you drive a tank. Which honestly I didn't know until looking into these pedals. But so if you are a person who likes to play like World of Tanks or War Thunder, or maybe you like driving, for example, maybe you want to, honestly, that's a good option. Maybe you want to drive American Truck Sim or racing, and you want to use these pedals, you know, for racing as well as flying. Well, you can do that, and it locks it so you can't accidentally move your pedals left and right, which I think is a super smart and handy idea. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. What's your opinion on the new WINWING rudder pedals here? Hopefully this video gives you a better understanding of what to expect. And as always, let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. Remember, you have 3 choices: give up, give in, and give it all. You got peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time, next video.